And identifying the root plays a part in every aspect of our life, from business to relationships, straight across the board. However, I'm going to talk on a few just to give you an idea of what this can look like. So a symptom is not the root. A symptom is the top layer of what you actually need to heal below the surface. So I want to give you a few examples on what a symptom may be, and we'll talk about the root and how once you are aware of acknowledging the root cause, it's so much easier to begin doing the healing around whatever it is and move forward. So for an example, a symptom might be emotional eating. This is a big one. We turn to food to fulfill something that we need that we are not getting, or that we were taught to use it for as an emotion, causes emotional eating. So you might beat yourself up. Like, I don't understand why I turn to food. I don't understand why I do this when I'm emotionally. First of all, it's learning to manage and process your emotions, which is a separate tool from this, something that I help people with. But moving forward, the root might look like when you were a child, whenever you did something good, you were rewarded with food. So food became just imprinted in you as a reward. Thus, emotional eating as an adult. When you want to reward yourself, aka treat yourself, you turn to food, which it's fine to eat different things once in a while, right? Soul food is good. The point is if you constantly are turning to treats, you are not treating yourself. You are actually abusing yourself. And most likely, from my knowledge of when I was doing it to the women I work with, it's actually causing shame inside of you for turning to food because you don't understand why you keep doing it. And it turns in this cycle of abuse inside your mind of why you were doing it. And a lot of times then you do it again because you're beating yourself up about it. The cycle continues. Another reason that we might turn to food is like for love, for nurturing. As a child, that might have been the only time that you felt connected to your mom, maybe to your grandma, like the mother wound, the mother dynamic. And it could have even gone back to when you were being like breastfed, nursed as a child. That might have been the one time you really remember feeling that deep love and motherly, like, nurturing. That can be a reason that you turn to food for that love, for that connection. And you don't realize that there's actually a root that you can go back and heal to acknowledge that you really needed something that you weren't given. And food became the thing that brought you that connection that you're looking for. There's so many other reasons, right, that we can do this. Another symptom could be in your relationships, you tend to be snappy or put, like, you almost bring this masculine, like wounded masculine energy into your relationship, and you're combating with the man in your life, right? You're combating with them, and you're almost taking away their power to step into like their masculine, to be what they are incredible at being, right? We have a gift as a woman and as a male. It might look like in a relationship, you put all of your worth into your partner. You might have been taught that, like, you need a man, you got to grow up and get married, whatever it is. And you have like a father wound, perhaps, that all of a sudden you didn't have that father connection. You have the father wound. And so you were looking for that love in somebody else. There's none of these are things to be shameful of. These are just symptoms of a deeper root. When your worth is inside of a relationship with your partner, and when they're hurt or when they disconnect from you or when their wounds come out, right, and in your communication, you're feeling that, all of a sudden you feel unworthy and you feel super let down and you feel all of these things because who you are is dependent on what they think of you. And if they chose to leave or if they broke your heart, this is all about you and you're not worthy. That's not true. But this is from a wounded place of our worth being in somebody else. It's just like if we're afraid to show up as ourselves on social media or in our businesses, right? To be a leader instead of a boss. Because if we were actually authentically ourselves, what would people think? Like, we need to have XYZ persona for people to take us seriously or to appreciate us. But why is that? That is a symptom or a belief of a wound, that you believe that you cannot show up as who you are. And you might leave work exhausted all the time, or live in fear of letting yourself step into the light of being who you really are. But the truth is, when you heal that wound and you show up authentically, you can live in alignment and not only feel powerful, but grow your business and be the leader that people need from you, your authentic self. Your birthright is to have abundance. Abundance in your relationships, abundance in your heart, abundance in finances. It's your birthright. You aren't going to feel fulfilled in any of those things if you're living disconnected to yourself, right? So these are all symptoms of a root. And we spend so long trying to heal the symptoms or fix the symptoms or change the scenery or whatever it is. And we keep repeating these cycles in our lives, right? Until we finally look back or look within and realize, holy cow, I'm the co-creator of my life. The words that I speak, the things that I do, I'm consciously creating my future. So whatever it is today that might be shining the light on the root for you, I want you to dive deeper into that. I want you to ask yourself, like, okay, we'll go back to the emotional eating thing. And let's say you turn to food when you need love, right? You're feeling abandoned, you're feeling disconnected, you want nurturing, okay? So close your eyes. When was the first time I felt this feeling? Like that feeling of like abandonment or neglect, or like what you were looking for, whatever that feeling is. When was the first time I felt this feeling? Go back as far as you can remember. Generally, there is a time that this split, this disconnect happened. And again, this is something I can walk you through deeper if you are interested in moving deeper into this journey. But ask yourself, when was the first time I felt this? And identify it. What did she need at that time? What did you need? What was that you needed? How now can you give yourself that? And looking at that first moment, that first time that you can recall needing this feeling or feeling this feeling. Is there something you need to shine light on? Is there shame there? Is there heaviness? Is there something that needs forgiveness? What is needed in that situation, or what was needed that would have completely transformed things, right? Like that's the root. That's the root. And again, it's a much deeper process than just that. But once you can identify the wound and the root, you can begin actually healing the core, and the symptoms will start to go away. It will start to change. You'll start to manifest different things in your life. You'll start to develop that self-worth that doesn't accept these relationships that don't fulfill you, that chooses themselves even during the hard times, that shows up even when it's scary. You will develop a completely authentic connection to yourself. And from that place, abundance will flow. And it feels so dang good. But this process isn't always easy. I'm encouraging you, if this year you've been wanting to elevate in your business, maybe start a new business. If you have been really wanting to heal your relationships or attract a deep, healthy relationship. If ultimately you just want to be in love with yourself and start choosing yourself and know what it's like to be proud of who you are and love who you are. And again, losing weight or getting healthy, like with the emotional eating component, a lot of people want to lose weight going in the new year. Losing the emotional weight is the biggest weight you will ever lose. I promise you. And when you start to love yourself more, you love yourself more enough to start just nourishing your body, right? Making just choices that are healthier for nourishing your body, loving her exactly where she is while making choices that are nourishing her. So stop looking for the quick fix, the root, like the symptom fix, right? The pill that's going to mask what's happening. Dive deeper, ask yourself, what is the root of this? And then start taking the steps to transform and heal whatever it is. I promise you it's worth it. I'm still on my journey, but I can tell you my healing has transformed every single area of my life. And if I was to go back and decide what to invest in first, that's what I would have started focusing on first, was that, because from your healing, everything else changes.